What is good, my people? We are live. I'm back with another live episode. Yeah, I know I've been going for a little minute, and I want to appreciate all of the people for holding me down. And I'm not gonna lie, I was going through a little bit of a rough time, and I'm gonna keep it real. When I do these shows, I try to let the spirit of the ancestors talk through me. And honestly, my connection was blocked just going through all the stuff I was going through. But I want to, say thank you to everybody who was holding me down, who showed me love, who was checking on me. To my sister Wanda Chavis, who was holding it down the entire time. Much love to that sister. And yeah. By the way, make sure y'all subscribe to my backup channel, The4Kast Radio 24, because I still been watching everything, and YouTube, they put a strike on one video at a time, so that I'll always have a strike on my channel. But right after this live, I'm just coming on here to talk to y'all, see what y'all been up to. But after this live, there will be a live premiere of the next video on this channel. But they may take it down, so I'll put it up on the backup channel tomorrow. But it's gonna be a live premiere on this channel coming up. But yeah, man, I appreciate all of the love and everything y'all been showing me, and everything that's been going on. And one thing that I see is, no matter how long you take off, the system is never going to stop, right? The system is always going to be what it is. And by the way, anybody could call in. The numbers right there: 804-601-4015. I definitely want to hear the people, and I'm not gonna be on too late because the live premiere will be about 8:30 East Coast time in about an hour, so I'm not gonna be on there too long. Yeah. The link to the backup channel is it's actually in the description, but yeah, I'll go post it for y'all, no problem. But yeah, the thing about you know going through what I was going through, I see that the system of white supremacy is never going to change. The system, I'm going to put the link in the chat to the backup channel. But yeah, the system is never going to change. They have been out here doing the same thing, right? They take no breaks, they take no days off. And that's why we can't take no days off. And that's why it can't be one person, one man. We all have to play our part and do what we have to do as a group, as a unit, right? But first, we have to start getting our minds straight. And, we talk about mental health in our community, but we need to talk about it a lot more. Yeah, for sure, Dante. But we need to talk about it a lot more. But the thing is, we don't focus on what we're up against, our enemy's mental health, right? We got to understand we're dealing with a bunch of sociopaths and psychopaths. Now, if you look up the traits of a psychopath or sociopath, right, they fit it to a T right there. Hypocrites, they gaslight you, right? All of this stuff. And, people compare it all the time. Black people in America is like an abusive relationship, right? They got us thinking that we need them. In reality, the entire time they needed us, right? If they was to tell us to go back to Africa like they always do, now if we was to actually do that, right, within a few years, they'll be back over there in Africa doing the same thing they did the first time, trying to kidnap us, right? And until we deal with our own mental issues, we'll be finding excuses to come right on back and be right back in the same situation. All right, see, it's easy to tell somebody that you know or that you love what to do when somebody's bullying you, right? If your kid was to come up to you and say, there's a big guy in my class who picks on me every day, who punches me in the face, takes my lunch money, right? Who tells me I'm going to do what I have to do, what he tells me to do, or he going to beat me up, right? You know what the answer is. You know what you're supposed to tell your child. But when it comes to the system, see, we are battered, right? They've been going upside our head for hundreds of years, and we are like a battered spouse. And we make excuses for the people who harm us. All right, see, we got a call.
From ERB Wilson.
Hello?
Hello, hey, how you doing?
All right, man, how you doing?
I'm good. I've been following your channel for a little minute, and definitely the thing that you addressed is pertinent to what go on as far as concerning our people.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not. But it was one thing that there's one story that still sticks out about the cop that was he's working. I guess he's a cop for the railroad. He was a cop for the railroad. Ended up getting shot 28 times, 21 in the back, 7 in the front, by the 4 white officers.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. It's been like so many cases. Like, I think I remember which one you're talking about, though.
Yeah, that's one that was kind of hard to get out my mind. I mean, so do you believe or link or even correspond the issue that's going on? When you mention black, do you also include black as in Hispanic community, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Dominicans, things of that nature?
Right. Well, that whole thing is a tricky subject because it's black people over there. Yeah, there are black people, but then there are Puerto Ricans that are not black. You understand? But Puerto Rican is just like we all understand about Puerto Rican isn't a race and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what makes it tricky, right? And the thing that makes it even more tricky, right, is like it depends on like which place colonized them. Because like for instance, like Britain, they were hard on like in America, the biracial child was considered black, a slave. But in somewhere like Haiti, how French used the biracial was to put them over the black people. You understand? So like, yeah, that's like it's a tricky thing because you have some people that are like that who identify as black and go hard, but you have some people like that just want to stay away from it. So all of that is a tricky subject. But as far as like Dominicans, like there are black Dominicans, there are black whatever.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Definitely, I ain't gonna dispute that. My thing is like you can look at it as like I mean you have black people that's it's I go by what I was taught. And whoever your father is what you are, whether you're male or female, or whoever your father is, whatever race he is what you are. So when you have a situation, maybe like an example that I can give is Frederick Douglass. Right. His mother was raped by a slave master. So technically he would be white because his father is white. Right. But no matter what you look like, whatever seed you plant, that's what you are. Yeah. So as generally speaking, blacks and Hispanics, they deal with the same issues. Right. There's no way you can go in a black community or a black neighborhood where people or our people is the majority in that area, where it's not a Chinese corner store, where it's not damn maybe a hip hop chicken or some damn rundown neighborhood. It's conditions everywhere. Like that's clearly systematic. Right. How is that everywhere you go, it's these conditions for these people? Right. I mean, you go. I mean, you go ahead.
No, go ahead, my brother.
But you do address a lot of issues, and I definitely big you up on that. But like I said, a lot of the things that go on in our community go on in Puerto Rican communities, Mexican communities, because they deal with the same exact issues that we deal with.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying, like, I'm gonna be real. I'm personally not here for like a Mexican person. Like, we got too much our own issues. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here for like anybody who, like, it's just a trick. It's a slippery slope. We can't help, like the saying goes, you can't help poor people if you one of them. If we at the bottom of the list, how are we helping all of these other groups? And we have to be careful, right? Because there was a time where Jewish people weren't considered white or whatever. They still really aren't, but or Italians or whatever. And people like Marcus Garvey worked with them. But you see, as soon as they got that white card, they were quick to turn their back on us. It was these same people, the Irish, the Italian, the Irish, the Jews. They were the ones who made up this blackface stuff. But, because they weren't considered white, they had their own plight. We tried to get on the same team as them. But at the end of the day, when they got their stripes, they used us to come up. They left us in the dust, right? But, let me ask you this, right? Would you consider Barack Obama a black man?
I mean, ethnically, yes. But he's a sellout. I mean, that's what I consider.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because he has a black father, it doesn't mean that he's for the black race, right? Now, it could be somebody who has a black mother, but they're for the black race. Like, that's why, like, that whole thing for me is like a slippery slope. It's hard to say, you know what I mean?
But one thing I hear you dip. So first off, there's two things that I wanted to speak to you about first, because like I said, I've been following you for a while, and there's a lot of things. There's one thing that I noticed that you always say about the tribal. We got to put aside our tribal differences, and it's hard to actually do that considering anybody, because we can always put aside and focus on the goal, but at the end of the day, we saw the goal we get, and our accomplished goal. The ultimate result is for us to get our own seat. But understand, just like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they let them people do that. Just like they let our people have businesses. You got certain amount of our people, or certain of our people that actually accomplish, great things, and get super rich and wealthy in this country. Again, that's allowed. Yeah. That's allowed. And Tulsa, Oklahoma was allowed until he did not feel like allowing it anymore.
Right.
So that's one thing that, that's really catching me when people talk about, getting together and getting our own business, getting our own state, getting our own party. That's not going to be allowed.
Well,
even if you take the energy and you take the masses, because everybody ain't going to be on the same page.
Right, yeah.
So we do got to get together under one umbrella, and the tribal differences has to be put aside, coming with one belief and one mind frame. Can nobody move together as one when everybody's thinking different? Even if the ultimate goal is for us to get our own, but you might have a different way of going about getting that own or reaching that goal, and I may have too. So that can be the tribal differences, but at the same time, you understand we have to have the same mind state, mind frame, along with the same goal in mind.
Right. See, when I say tribal differences, like, what I mean is like say like you said, we have different ways to reach it, but we all going to the same goal. Like, but when I say differences, is like when we argue or whatever, but and like we separate. We say, okay, we can't get past these differences. We can't get on the same, even though we have the same goal. Whatever differences we have in our agenda is just too different to be on the same team. Like, that kind of stuff we can't really afford, right? We can learn from our enemy. Like, they did the same thing. They fight way more than we fight. We got to understand that. And, like, it took them to have the Berlin Conference, when they split up Africa. Until then, they was just fighting each other, and they was accomplishing nothing. And they realized putting aside their petty differences for for whiteness was the best way to go. And, as far as allowing us and all of that stuff, to a degree, yeah, you're right. But also, we can't underestimate how many times that we successfully fought back in this country. Like, there are plenty. That's why I talk about so many stories of successfully fighting back. But if we start getting to the belief that oh, they allow us to do something, or we can't do something unless they let us, then we might as well just say, okay, well, we give up. We'll just you know do it how you guys want it. It's just and just accept. Okay, just don't kill too many of us, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, you're gonna have to either it's either death or liberty or death. You know what I'm saying? Like you got
Well, I get that.
yeah.
I get that, and I'm listen. Trust me, I'm for that.
Right.
But like the allowance, I definitely get the success in the things that we fall back. But as again, you look at, I'm pretty sure. I really kind of, I'm assuming when I say this. I'm pretty sure you read the Willie Lynch letter, right?
Right.
And now it came from physical chains, physical whips, physical slavery to mental slavery. You had somehow people that just is in the white man ass and won't let go of his coattail. I can't understand for the life of me where somebody can take up for the evil that they do. Like you ain't gonna convince me that I don't give a damn if they smile in your face, they do something for you. That's the worst one to me.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe God more than I believe anybody. He says there's not one that doing good. No, not one. I don't give a damn what you try to convince me of. I don't give a damn people gave me $1 million. If something coming with $1 million, you can have his back.
Right. Exactly.
So, I give the example like, it's success like in the 60s, but once they got certain concessions, once they got certain rights, then it was just like they went to sleep. That fight was gone. And once they started killing the leaders, what they say? The saying go, kill a shepherd and the sheep will scatter.
Right.
That's what they was doing with the Black Cartel program.
Oh yeah, definitely. See, that's
and
the
it's
thing.
Still going on.
That's the thing. Like we gotta realize, like we think, like integration and all that. Integration was really, like, to me, how I see it, integration was nothing but a counter move from the enemy. Like we think it was us fighting for it. Really, that was a way for them to control us. What happened after that? We lost all our money. We lost all our schools. We lost our teachers. You know what I'm saying? Like now, don't get me wrong. Back then, they were fighting for. They needed money. Like they were to go to school. You got to use the bathroom in the outhouse. They had to use like ebony magazines for textbooks. So of course they wanted money, but the whole integration stuff was to break us down. You know what I'm saying? Because they start realizing, like, okay, like Martin Luther King is talking about holding hands and singing, but then you got people like Malcolm X saying, well, if that don't work, then we gonna come and burn the town down. Now, that's the thing about how they stay in power. Like anybody who's like a powerful leader or who control mad people, I'm pretty sure you heard David Walker, the appeal to the colored people around the world or whatever. This was from the 1800s or whatever, but that brother, they scared him, and a few years later he died off. Like, see, what they do is like they erase people from history. They don't just kill them. They erase our leaders from history. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's for a reason. Because if you see something that reminds you of your greatness or that'll spark it, it's really an inferior thing that they're coming from, right? And because they know if any kind of thing sparks us to unify, because in my opinion, we're not so ununified that we like that they want us to believe, right? We came together more times in American history than not. You know what I'm saying? Like for the time we've been here, maybe for the last 50, 60 years, we've been the most divided. Other than that, we've been on the same page for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you had your coons and all of that and the house slaves, and you're going to always have that kind of stuff. But you just need a critical mass amount of people, and the rest is going to follow. Like, as black men, like, really, the truth is, if we do build an empire, black women is going to come running to us. Like, that's just a fact, you know what I'm saying? But we have to build that empire, and not saying that we don't all have a role to play. Black women have to do their thing. We have to do ours. You understand? Like, so.
Right, I definitely get that. My thing is, and I don't know what your perspective, and I'm not necessarily asking. As far as God, your belief in the Bible, but I believe in the Bible. I mean, my concern is not what nobody else technically believes in it or how they believe in it.
Right.
But I do believe in it, and one thing I can draw from that is the the remarkable similarities of what's going on now with our people and what went on then with Moses and the children of Israel. Moses went to meet the man to Pharaoh when he was in captivity. And I don't care how you put it, we still in captivity. Yeah, so no matter how you can go to another country and you can get a passport, you still got a passport. Right. If a mass amount of Americans got together, all blacks and Hispanics or whatever, and went to the borders and said, we leaving, guess who won't show up? The Coast Guard, the military, the Navy, they're going to stop you. Yeah. Why they stopping you if you're free?
Yeah, facts, yeah. Because they need you. They need us to think we need them, but in reality, they need us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the thing is, right, like, you know, I'm not even going to, like, really speak on, like, you know, that whole thing. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but, like, let me ask you this, right? Say, would it make me a prophet if I say somebody's gonna break in your house and rape your wife and take all your stuff, and then I send the person to do it? Does that make me a prophet?
No, it don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you know, I know that's like out of nowhere, but you know, it is.
No, that don't. That just that's crazy because I was actually watching a TV show. It's crazy that you said that day. I was watching a TV show called Blue Bloods, and it was a mob boss, and his son was locked up, and he tried to inform the police that, you know, it was a crime that was going to be happening, and the family was going to get murdered. And the whole time he was sending the murderer after the family to set this up so it can look like he did something, right, so his son can get off out of police custody. So no, it don't make you a prophet. Prophecy is again, it's not up to you. Some people think prophecy is on a person. It don't make him a prophet because the prophecy don't come to pass. Right. That doesn't necessarily mean he's not a prophet because it didn't happen, or how it happened, or when it happened. Right. It may not happen in your lifetime. Like, I give you an example of Jonah the prophet. He got mad at God and said, you know, if I go ahead and prophesy to the city of Nineveh, then all you do is going to forgive me. So there's no point in me going because you're just going to forgive him anyway. Right. And then that's what happened with Jonah, and Jonah got swallowed by the large fish or whatever. And the Lord dealt with him. So once the Lord got him to go, guess what happened? It wasn't up to Jonah for the prophecy to come to pass. It was for him to prophesy what would happen. Right. Now, from that point, it's God's job to make the prophecy because it's his prophecy. Right. So Jonah ain't got to do nothing but prophesy.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know.
So it ain't on you. It ain't on a person to make it happen.
Right.
But once you making it happen, no, it don't make you a prophet because now you just making things happen yourself. It's like saying, I'm going to get a job, and then when I finally get a job, that don't mean I was a prophet.
Right, exactly. You know, like, and all I'm saying is, like, you know, there's nothing that has power over us unless we give it power. Nothing that has power over us. And the minute we say, like, if you feel like you cursed, the minute you say, I'm not cursed anymore, I'm blessed, you're blessed. You, like, that's how it works. We have the power. Like, you know, like the power, like, you know, I guess not a Christian or Israelite or whatever, you know, the power of God is within you. People always say the power of God is in you. You have that same strength within you. So, you know, yeah, the only way somebody can curse you is if you believe that you're cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and of course your enemy is going to tell you that you're cursed, but like, they need you, not the other way around. Like, we did not kidnap them. They kidnapped us.
All right, so that's what made me curious. If you believe, if that's, you know, your perspective on being cursed and being blessed is the way you think about it, then how do you think about the white man as a whole? I mean, because according to what I believe, they are cursed.
No,
and I mean, there's no question how they carry themselves, how they act. I mean, just think. I was watching the video earlier. I actually clicked on one of the videos. I was thinking about Cody. I want to say Cody something.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah.
I started watching that, and then something popped up on my feed about Emmett Till, 100 pictures of Emmett Till. Mm-hmm. That's one story that I will never. You can never tell me there's a good white man after that. Like, this is a 14-year-old boy. Right. I have children, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, that joint grinds my gears every time I see the story, hear the name. Like, you see his face. Mm-hmm. I can see his face now
mm-hmm.
without looking at it because I looking at the picture so many times.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What his mom did was so powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all of these years later, and we still feel some type of way because she chose to leave an open casket. She was strong enough to do that, and you know, and the thing is, there's so many people. It's like it was I forget. It was before Emmett Till, but the same thing happened to the 7-year-old little girl. You know, we just don't know her name. You know, I forget her name. It's not popular, but the same thing happened to a 7-year-old little girl, you know. And you know, as far as them, like as far as the quote unquote good white person, I don't think no white person wants this system destroyed. And but the system cannot be destroyed and we be free at the same time. We have to destroy the system to be free. And every
but
white
how
person,
do you plan to? That's where I always get like, how do you like it? If you had the ability to, you could do it the way you wanted to. Mm-hmm. How would you accomplish that? With just how would you accomplish that?
Well,
destroy the system and move forward to prosper a state for the so-called blacks.
Well, you know, first of all, it's a long-term game. Like we got to realize this whole system was built little bit by little bit by little bit, and it got to be destroyed. Now we could take major steps, minor steps, whatever, but you know, there are short-term goals, which is be like, we can we can nominate successful black business people right now. All of us donate, whether it be $1, $100, $1,000,000, whatever, and we can all be in the black community, be contributing to it, and they strictly put black or help fund and grow black businesses, put them in our neighborhood. We have our own businesses and grow whatever, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was this nation made? How you have to you're gonna have at the end of the day, it's gonna be a long-term game, right? I'm personally like I'm willing to like not sacrifice, quote unquote, sacrifice my kids, but they're gonna have to. I'm gonna be training them to be ready. Of course they're gonna make their own decisions, and I don't have any kids yet, but it's gonna be in their lifetime. But what we have to do is set them up in a position, right? And we have to look at our successes because we've had successes before. But our one problem that we've had over and over and over is self-defense, right? And there are, like I said, there were times where we successfully defended our own towns, right? But then we completely kept letting down our guards, and then of course integration happened. But it's a long-term thing. You're gonna have to build up an army or a nation to back you up because nobody's gonna ever respect us till we have an army or a nation to back us up. We just gonna have to build our own infrastructures. Like we're gonna have to stop calling these people, like if somebody in our family have mental health issues, we're gonna have to stop calling them. We're gonna have to just find a way to be self-sufficient. But we're gonna also have to remember that our enemy is gonna do everything in their power to keep us in our position. So we have to be prepared for counters and we have to be prepared to defend ourselves. But you know, at the end of the day, it's gonna be a long-term thing, like steps at a time. Like everybody has their role. You know, like you may be good with guns, but this person is good with money. You know what I'm saying? We just all got to play our role.
I mean, that's any system though.
Huh?
That's any organization.
Right.
Everybody putting. I mean, that's any household. Period. When you think about it, right. Any household that has a husband and wife, you got children. You might have certain children that's good at cleaning, certain children that's good at doing this, doing that. Right. And you put them in the pop perspective. Your wife good with money, and you not good with money. To distribute the wife, your money to the wife. Make sure she take care of everything. Like it's just a system. Every household like a kingdom of your own household. That's a true saying because everything is. You have decisions that need to be made in the household. You got bills need to be paid. You got things need to take care of. You got children. You got lives need to be cared for. You got decisions need to be made. It's a lot of things to consider. So on a much smaller scale, that it starts there. So if you can think of that on a greater scale, dealing with a nation, that's how it's just a building thing. And I definitely get what you're saying. Right. And my thing is, we can't. I'm just going. Coming the way I believe. It's nothing we can do. It don't matter how much we try because we have had success in times past, but that was all for a purpose. And once that success was had, then it kind of diminished from there. Right. And then
Yeah,
the
look.
plans, as you look at them from the 50s, going back to the 50s,
Right.
with the crossover music, that started with integration, and you see how they was getting over on our people then,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that happening with what's the NWA,
Right, right.
like even before that with Frankie Lyman, um, and the managers, our music being heard all over the world. We just, that's how we're ignorant to the fact that they making millions off of what we getting, and we getting pennies compared to what they making.
Right, but look, but just going off that example, right? Like, so then you have going into the future, right? When we have more knowledge, then you have people like Master P who puts out his own stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we have evolution. Like it was a like we're like, don't take it the wrong way, you know what I'm saying, like, but I kind of think you're giving the enemy a little bit too much credit. Like, they're not that creative, right? What they did was torture us. They literally kept us from reading and writing, you know what I'm saying, and we
Oh no, no,
Mhm.
I'm not to cut you off. Don't
Mhm.
mistake me for what I'm saying.
Right,
I'm saying that they was getting over. I'm not giving them no credit. They was getting over. Period.
right.
What I was giving was a plan that was put in place.
Mm-hmm.
And how it broke down our community, going all the way up even till now.
Right,
From
right.
the music, the drugs, to the music, and
Right.
even the music alone, and how they influence the music,
Right.
how we carry ourselves, how we dress. All that deals with self pride, self dignity, social studies, the history, that social thing.
Mm-hmm.
Getting familiar with somebody else's history instead of with your own history.
Yeah.
All that is a plan to part in our community and breaking us down. That us having pride in our own history, looking at somebody else's history and trying to be one with that. Same thing with social media. Why you think somebody in China could dress with Timberlands and True Religions and the damn scarf and he Chinese? Like, come on now, what the hell is this?
Right.
All that is taken away from you as an individual and us as a nation or us as a people, and making everybody one. That's that integration, that's the world integration. But let alone the country itself, because all nations is here in America, the great melting pot.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm not giving them no credit. I don't know what you misconstrued that.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
no,
giving
no.
them
I
no
don't mean,
credit.
yeah.
It's
That's why.
trifling.
That's what I
And
mean.
I'm
Don't
saying
take
it was trifling what they was doing.
Yeah, no, don't take it the wrong way. I don't mean it like that. I meant like, you know what I'm saying, when you say we'll never get out of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they
No, I'm not saying that.
okay.
Let me correct that. I'm sorry.
Mm.
We'll never get out of it on our own, just us alone. And I'm not saying assistance from nobody, no other nation, and no other people. We will not do it just us alone. And I'll let you go from there.
All right, I appreciate you, my brother.
Not just us, just not just us. It ain't gonna happen with just us.
Well,
It's
well, the thing is, like, we are all we got. We're not gonna have anybody else to help us. Like, right? You look at the Asian community right now. They got that stop the Asian hate movement. Right? One black dude, right, beat up. I don't even know if it was real or not, but one black dude beat up an Asian person. They got a law passed and all of that stuff. Now they had how many Asian dudes beating up black women for all that time, right? There like we're not gonna get any help, right? The Latino community, we've been black and brown for I don't know how long, but then when you get laws passed and all of this stuff, it's not black and brown no more. If I go to Mexico, they gonna treat me like a Negro, If like it's the same thing in all of these places. We don't have anybody else, right? So at the end of the day, if we can't even, and the thing is, some people, black Americans wouldn't even be on the same page with like Africans, you understand? But
I mean, they not on the same page though. I mean, that's another subject. But go ahead.
yeah, that's another subject. I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, it's we're not gonna have anybody else. Every group historically has, when they were getting discriminated, they said black and brown, black and Jew, black and Italian, black and Irish, black and this, black and that. But when they got their spot, then they say, oh, them damn niggas. You understand? We're not. They don't look at us the same. They looking at it as everybody wants to be accepted into white supremacy in the society. Everybody thinks that they just submitted to white supremacy, and they think being closer to white supremacy puts you closer. But as black people, we'll never be on that level because white supremacy is defined by black inferiority. So we'll never be on that. We'll always be on the bottom of the totem pole. So for others to push themselves up, they're gonna try to push us down. We're never gonna have any friends until we have a nation or an army backing us up. Then we can do business, maybe, right? But we don't have any friends. We see where everybody's standing at now. That's all we've ever done was try to reach out and get help and help everybody else. And it's never worked. It's for once we gotta try working with ourselves, you know.
I agree. And one thing I definitely do believe, history repeats itself. One thing is, people have a habit of saying, or just out there that people say is that if you don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Right.
And I say that to say that when I mention we're not gonna do it on our own, I'm not saying anybody is gonna help. I didn't mention nothing or nobody or no nation for that very purpose of not giving off the indication that it's anybody that's gonna help us.
Right.
God is, whether you believe or not, God is real.
Right.
And God is going to do the same thing He has done in times past. Like a lot of people discriminate against the Bible and say, it was written by white people. It's all about white people. But there's nothing white about the Bible. Right. This is amazing. I'd be bewildered at that. That fact. There's nothing white about the Bible. Nothing in the Bible is whitewashed. There's nothing, no man in the Bible that's a great man, a man of God, Moses, David, Solomon, whoever you name, the 12 apostles, Jesus, none of them is white. Right. No scripture in the Bible that says they're white or give it even an indication of them being white. Right. But nonetheless, God is going to do the same thing that He did during the time of Moses. We're going to get together. And let me correct myself. We are already together. There is a group that's going to get out of here. And when God displays that power that He displayed in ancient Egypt, like He did then, it's going to be the same. It's going to be a greater effect. People don't believe that God parted the Red Sea. Well, they ain't got to believe because He's going to part another body of water. And they're, just like they did then, they're going to submit now. And the time is coming, and the time is here where these things are about to take place. So it's very important that, I do agree putting aside the things that we differ in, but the focus has to be that we're not going to do it on our own. And when I say that we're not going to do it on our own, God is going to help.
Well, look.
As long as your focus is towards Him.
Well, look at it like this, right? If you can look at it like this, then, right? Say, goddamn, like God, like God is the one that's that has me making these videos, right? God is the one inspiring me to do the work. That might be what the help that you're saying. Like it might be that God is coming through me doing these things, right? Or God is coming through you. Like if you're looking at it like that, right? But at the end of the day, it's still gonna have to come through us. You know what I'm saying? Because like what you're saying is like and that's why I can't disrespect anybody's beliefs or anything, but you will have somebody saying, oh well, the Bible, like you were saying, the Bible is this or that, right? We need to be following the Quran. You understand? But that's the thing.
I get what you're saying. There's always going to be a debate on religion. I guess that's why when you talk about the workplace, there's three things you don't discuss.
Right, but
that's not the discrepancy. Like it ain't got to be a back and forth about what God or what did you believe. And I do believe God works through you in the way that He has you motivated to do what you're doing. Because don't everybody. It's people that do videos. I don't watch their channels.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's not just
because they not informative enough.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not just me though. It's you too. It's coming through you. Like that's what probably inspired you to call in for us to have this kind of conversation. Who knows what this affect? How do you we don't know if a little kid is listening to this and this is inspiring him, but it's because like whatever God you believe in, God had him just happen to listen tonight, and we happen to say something that sparked him, and he's the one that comes up with this ultimate plan, or comes up with this, or he's a leader in some kind of battle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, all we got to do is just do what we have to do, whatever we're inspired to do. Like we just got to look at it. Okay, well that is God. We can't wait for something to happen. We are the something that's supposed to happen. We are it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying, but that it don't stop there. That's just one part, one perspective, and it's God can have you doing multiple things, and again, it's not just what you do and how you help get the message out there, and the message is very important, and that's why I take heed to the video that you put out, and what I teach, because I actually go out in the streets and teach.
All right,
so it's very helpful to me in my teachings where I can go in scripture and show the same things that's going on in your video, that God said these things will be happening, and who the enemy is. There's no question who the enemy is, and I think that's what we lose sight of, and that's a real big problem with our people. Like with the concessions that we got in the 60s, how we was giving rights, how we was giving schools. Everybody thought integration was, a good thing for us, like you said before. But it wasn't. It did a lot of damage, and the damage that it did, the main damage that it did was put us back to sleep. It took that fight out of us. Right. Now, since we got, quote unquote, what we want, that wasn't it, and that wasn't enough. Right. And now we back in the same position to the point where killing a young child, adolescent, is becoming normal. That's like I'm talking to you, but I'm infuriated and thinking about these things.
And that's
disturbing.
And that's the thing. Like, if we can't, right? We got all of these differences. That's why I talk about the tribal differences. But if we can't put aside whatever differences we have to not let our children get shot down on the street, then that's a problem. Then we're the same thing is gonna keep happening. If we can't put aside whatever differences, if we have to have a meeting, right? And okay, we like Malcolm X said, we may have to leave our religion at the door. You don't mean you have to not give up your religion. It just means we're just discussing these practical issues. How do we stop these people from killing our children? And it has nothing to do with your religion. Like a cop could get on the radio right now. Cops all have all kinds of religion, but you know what? They're the biggest gang in the world. They're gonna be on the same side. A cop can right now get on his radio and call 10 other people, right? And 10 people show up with guns. Right now, we can call. Now, if we can get to the point where we can call Israelite, a Muslim, a Christian, whatever, no, somebody, atheist or whatever, but they all show up armed or whatever, and say you're not going to violate this child's right. It don't matter what religion they believe in, but that's going to be effective, and they're going to stop doing whatever they do. They certain enemies only respect certain things.
But what you saying, that makes sense. It do. But one thing that I pray that you understand is that all that can happen, and we can get together and we can call this religion, that religion, they show up. But wisdom plays a large part in anything that you do. Yeah, a law can get passed, but then what? A law get passed and another boy gets shot. This has happened.
No, I'm not saying a law get passed.
No, listen to me. I'm not just saying that that's the end result.
Right.
What more can you do? After George Floyd and after the sister, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd sparked a large outbreak in the black community, in the uprising of the black community in several states, hella states, where he was marching, he was protesting, he was taking over communities, shutting down precincts. It was crazy. And that can happen, but where is that now?
Right.
And we can get the power. Well, how could we actually protect? Unless you literally keeping 100% watch over your children, it's going to be hard because we still ain't in our own community. We ain't in our own state. We ain't got our own.
Yeah,
and even when we in our quote unquote own, we in a majority black community or all black community that's wealthy. It's still things that can happen. We living in an evil world. It don't matter how safe we try to make it. It's evil. You can go outside and get damn hit by a stray bullet.
Yeah, you could get hit by lightning. Like anything can happen. But like the thing is, right? Like Now, what if, right? God, what if the British and George Washington said the same thing? Oh, well, the British are just too strong. There's nothing we can really do. They could do whatever. No, they were outnumbered by a whole country, a whole nation, and they said, oh, "We don't care. We're not paying." By the way, it was only over taxes that they owed. It's not like they didn't owe. America owed the British taxes because they was paying for giving America money to kill all the Indians or whatever, the natives or whatever. I ain't gonna get
Yeah.
into that, but now what
Oh,
if
that's in the independence. But keep going. That's
yeah,
funny.
but I'm saying like what if they gave up and said, okay, well, there's no way we can compete with them. No, they said we don't care if we die or get terminated or whatever. We ain't paying it, and if you come over here, then we gonna fight y'all. We gonna shoot back at some point, right? I mean, it is what it is. We're gonna have to face what it is. If we're gonna be extinct, we're gonna be extinct. If you don't want to be extinct, then go ahead. Like you're gonna have to just bow down and accept white supremacy. Is what do you want? And I guarantee we're not gonna be extinct, but we just gotta have faith in ourselves.
Oh,
We are strong. We are powerful. We can defeat them. And they, no matter how many weapons they have, you notice they only show up in groups. They only have weapons, and they still have to lie. Like no matter how outnumbered that you are, there's a reason why they still have to lie to you to
they
make you think
cowards.
you're weak.
They cowards. They.
Exactly.
I mean, like we say in Baltimore, they whores. They whores.
Right.
They suckers. They chumps.
Mm-hmm.
However word you want to use, they suckers without those weapons. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't trust me. I don't. There's no doubt in my mind. We are getting out of here. We are going to overcome. We are going to, and it ain't going to be. Ain't no man gonna get credit for doing this. I'm telling you, as God is my witness, and there's no doubt. It's going on. Even though people can't see it, and it's not at the forefront. Like I said, you're familiar with the Black Clientele program, right. And that's why the success that we're actually having is being blackballed. It's being blacklisted. It's not getting no media coverage. The things that we're doing and have done is not getting no media coverage. The things that they're doing, how they try to raid our nation and send the FBI, not the CIA, the AF, with the guns, drugs, and DEA.
Yeah, DEA.
All government agencies outside the CIA to try to shut down the organization and the nation. For what? If we're not no threat and we're not doing nothing, and there's no success going on, why are you trying to shut them down? We're supposed to get raided on one day, and 4 days later we're supposed to be in it. That didn't happen. Yeah. So again, they sitting there informing in there, and they supposed to have planted something. They came in there, they didn't find nothing. And then they brought an agent in and covered the agent's head and brought him out like he was locking somebody up from the church.
Yeah.
But this is crazy. It's crazy. This is what this government do, though. They try to sabotage what's going on. They try to blacklist and blackball the success that's going on. So there's no extra followers. Like that's the whole scheme of the black clientele.
Yeah, and I want to try to get some because I got to get off at 8:30 because the live premiere is gonna be on this channel. So
I didn't know it was late. My bad.
Oh no, you all right. But the one thing I wanted to say about that is it's like I said, they aren't very creative, right? The same thing that you were just saying now, that's the same thing that happened to Marcus Garvey, right? J. Edgar Hoover. They created the FBI program to stop whatchamacallit. They created the FBI just to stop him. Right, to stop Marcus Garvey, and of course we see what happened to him. They did the exact same thing. They aren't very creative, but that's the reason why we can't learn our history. Why they keep us from learning our history? Because if we learn our history, we'll see we'll be surprised at how many successful things that we did against white supremacy because we don't learn about any of that. All we learn about is the people that we learn about. Like we learn about Thurgood Marshall, and in my opinion, Thurgood Marshall was one of the main reasons why integration was as successful as it was, because they were ready to give up money to give us in our schools just so they don't have to have black people go to school with their children. But he wanted integration because it was a bigger goal to it, in my opinion. But it's the same thing over and over and over. and they do the same thing, and they keep us from learning history. But now that we have, and that's one of the biggest game changers is the internet. We can learn anything we want to learn at our fingertips, right? And we can take whatever failures we had and fix that, take whatever successes we had and build on that, and just keep pushing. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a long-term thing. It might be our children's children, right? But if we are really understand that we are prisoners at war and we are at war, are we really ready to sacrifice our family? Are you ready to sacrifice your kid to be free? Like, not sacrifice of in, you give them away just to be killed, but you prepare your kid to be ready for whatever. Like, one of the things that I loved about uh Medgar Evers, he he prepared his children for whatever because he knew that he could be killed at any time, and he and his wife did whatever, and his wife still kept going after he got murdered, but he knew what could happen. Now, are you ready to make that sacrifice? Because your enemy will do whatever they can to keep you in your position, and we have to respond with more urgency than they do to get out of our position. But yeah, let me get this next call. I don't want to keep holding up. I ain't got too much longer. Man, that was a good conversation, my brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Definitely a good man. You do a good job doing what you do, and I definitely keep watching and inform others.
Right.
Definitely, the conversation was great, and I hope we both learned something from it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, call back in the next episode. I should be back on in a day or two. So, like, if you watching, call back in, my brother.
Okay, I got you.
All right. All right. Call back in, Bakari. I see all of y'all. What's going on? What's going on, William Bell, Seymour? What's going on? Roberto. What's going on? Melanin always. What's up, sis? Time to work. What's up? Well, I see all of y'all. But call back in, Bakari.
Call from Corey.
Yo. Hello?
It's my good brother. Hello, what's going on, 4Kast?
What up, Bakari? What's going on, dog?
Man, good to see you back. I'm glad you got everything in order.
Yeah, man.
It's good to hear your voice, man. Good to see you back.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. And I've seen them. I've been watching y'all shows too, man. I just, been going through whatever. I couldn't, make it, whatever.
You good, bro? I hit you up a couple times. You let me know what was going on.
Yeah.
You good.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see you back. You took care of everything you need to take care of, and you back.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah. I'm just glad to know you back.
Yeah.
You know what? But I just heard you. You know what? I was just calling in to say that, but before I got through, I heard you talking about sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I ask people all the time on my channel, what are you willing to sacrifice? Okay. We like to say the government owe us, they owe us this and they owe us that, and we deserve this, right? Mm-hmm. But we constantly get smacked in the face, right?
Yeah.
So we don't think we can win a physical war. So I talk about the physical war because I want the shock value. I want people to hear that, right?
Yeah.
So since we don't want to do that, we have to do something else. With the Asians and everybody coming up talking about black, and they promote this in the media, black people have a orchestrated attack. We have organized attacks on Asians, right? Mm-hmm. So we do need to attack Asians, right? Yeah. Keep your money in your pocket. Stop going eating Chinese food. Yeah. Stop going to the Korean hair store. Stop going to let them. See, the thing what I tell people, because I'm to the point, I don't worry about what other people is going to do and what other people going to do for us or what they going to do when.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, 615 number, call in after this call. Wait till this call is over, then call in. All right, go ahead.
We have to be more concerned about what we're going to do. Right. We have to get past all of these false ideologies that keep us separated, right? Mm-hmm. If you've been watching my channel, we got Team Black now, and that encompasses everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And we have to see ourselves as a team. Since being family don't work, let's see ourselves as a team and see ourselves as a football team. 11 men on the field, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to play defense, right? You got 2 DNs, 2 tackles, 3 linebackers, 4 DBs. And that's how we have to see ourselves when we come and we want to work together. And it's only for the ones that want to work together. We don't have enough time to try and force people now to understand. Once they see us moving and they see us doing, since we are a visual people, more of our people will come along. While we are working together, we have to show what we are doing. See, I don't ask for a boycott. I ask for a change of mind, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to force these people's hands in some way or the other. Turn off cable TV. You understand? We, in this economy, in this system, which is capitalism, money is power, correct? Ain't that what they say? Money is power?
Yeah, that's what they say.
So when we look in the mirror, we have to see the power that we have. $1.7 trillion consumer. Mm-hmm. We have power. Yeah. We give our power away to other people. We make other people come in our neighborhood millionaires.
Yeah. And
they're able to take care of their families on down the road for generations off our money, while we are saying we are broke. Yeah. We are not that broke. We just have to aggregate our money, and we have to work together and learn to see value in one another.
Yeah. And the thing about what you said,
hold each other accountable. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying the thing about what you said too, like, and would you consider natural resources money?
Yes.
And where are the most natural resources at?
It's in Africa. Uh-huh. And you know what? I'm going to invite you to one of these meetings, because you're serious. And because we're getting the word out about Team Black, the African Unity Movement, Black Solidarity, and the Carolines coming together. Right. We actually have a lady that's part of the organization that's from Angola. Mm-hmm. And she says she can help us with being able to some access to some of those resources. She was in politics over there, and the people in Angola want to help. And look and see what Angola, how the people from Angola took over and controlled Portugal, right? Mm-hmm. So if they took over and controlled Portugal, let's say we get them on our team and they're helping us with resources.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the things we have to do.
Right.
Those are something we have to come together.
Yeah,
we have to be willing to sacrifice something. Mm-hmm. But brother, I'm gonna let your other caller call in. I just wanted to tell you it was good hearing your voice. We're gonna link up pretty soon. You're gonna be back on my channel. I'm gonna be back on yours. It was good to hear your voice, man. I'm gonna continue to listen. I just got it, but I'm gonna listen to you go off, man. One love, brother. Yeah, and peace to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, and thank you for calling me and checking up on me, bro. Like, I appreciate you, dog.
Yeah, you good, man. One love, my man.
All right, Bakar. Yeah, 615 number, call back in. I'm only gonna be on here for probably 15 more minutes. I got the live premiere coming up on this channel. Now, YouTube, this whole time they have been giving me one strike at a time. Like, I still got strikes, and I haven't been on here for I don't know how long. And that's what they do. They keep me with one warning or either 2 strikes. So if I put one of those videos on here, I'm gonna get a strike. So make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel. It's in the description and all of that. So, y'all definitely want to stay tuned for the videos coming up in about 15 more minutes. But yeah, man, I appreciate the first caller, my brother Bakari. It was spitting real information, but at the end of the day, we are all we got. We don't have any other choice, and we do have to study our enemy, right? Black Rain said they are already planning a war on us, but we have to understand everything that they did, everything that they've been doing, they've already planned, right? We got to understand how grimy, how much they plan, how much they do. They're psychopathic, right? This is psychopaths we're dealing with, and the number one thing about a psychopath is they lack empathy, right? And these are the type of things that they do. We don't look at the war on drugs for the full extent of what it was, right? They literally sold us drugs to fund a war in a small country, right? If they can fund a war, just selling us drugs. What can we do for ourselves? But not only did they make a fortune selling us the drugs, they on the back end made a fortune locking us up for the drugs. And not only could they lock us up for the drugs now, and they make another fortune off the front end and the back end, well, now they're getting us off the streets, right? They are making us slaves again because, if you read the 13th Amendment, if you go to jail, you're literally a slave. America still hasn't ended slavery, right? Believe it or not, right? So they hit us on all fronts. And now they have most of our warrior class behind bars on non-violent drug offenses. Meanwhile, they're making billions of dollars selling the same thing they're locking people up for. Now, if that's not hypocrisy and a sign of psychopath, then I don't know what is. But this is what we're dealing with. And that's how much they plan. That's how much they plot. Oh, that's Slang Nocturnal. Oh, snap. What up, dog? Yeah. Well, Biden and Trump are, two sides of the same coin. One with the smiling face and one who will tell you like it is. I personally prefer the one who will tell you like it is because now, when Trump was in the office, everybody was mad about whatever. Now Biden is in office, like the brother said, people are starting to forget about it. Now, of course, you got the George Floyd case in the media, but they make these small sacrifices, right? Because that's what psychopaths do. They don't want to look like psychopaths to everybody else. So they'll give you small little things. Meanwhile, they're killing all of these other people and they're getting away with it, right? But we're all looking at this trial where they may or may not go to jail. But, that's the society that we're living in. And that's what we have to deal with. But, at the end of the day, believe me, our enemy studies us. They watch and see, but we're still reactionary because again, that's what psychopaths do to their victims, their targets. They have their targets reacting instead of responding. They always keep them off guard. They always gaslight. They always project. These aren't people to be reasoned with. You cannot change their system from within their system because we tried I don't know how many times. We don't have any other choice but to build our own. No, my account wasn't terminated, but they do keep giving me strikes so I can't post, but I've just been dealing with some other stuff. So but I'm gonna give anybody who wanna call in, whoever called in from 615, you can call back in. But I only got about 10 more minutes left. And all y'all, make sure y'all, yeah, it's good to see all of y'all, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all don't understand, man. Like, this is all I got. This is what I do, right? I put everything I have into doing this. And, I appreciate all of y'all. And, when people and parents and family members from people or the videos that I make and their family members contact me and saying thank you. And I'll try to get some of them to come on the show, but it just never work out. But I don't know how much that means. But at the end of the day, we can never stop. All right.
So,
Hello.
hey, how you doing, brother?
All right. Who is this?
Hey, this is Bill.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Long time subscriber, by the way, man. This is also Black Rain Arms Company in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. What up, bro?
I just want to say a few things. I appreciate what you're doing, by the way. And there's very few people like you, and I can't even say that anyone really like you out there on the YouTube Black media space who doing what you're doing. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And, we need to pay it forward, better than what we have been doing. And I promise that we will be doing that. Also, I just want to say, it's really going to have to come down to Black militancy. And people, they don't really understand what they're talking about when they really say, Black militancy. And I'm talking about militancy in its purest form. I'm not talking about putting on costumes and parading around. And like I said, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm not advocating to hurt anyone. I'm only advocating for self-defense.
Right.
I'm only advocating for eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, etc.
And look, I don't mean to cut you off, but let me say this: like, we are the only group that have to say that. Like, we are the only group that have to say, I'm not saying we need to do this and do that. Like, of course, like, I'm not saying you, my brother, but like, we don't have to be apologetic anymore. We're not gonna be apologetic anymore. Like, if somebody comes to harm us, we're not gonna let you harm us. We don't have to say, oh, I'm not trying to hurt all white people because I don't want one person to hurt me. Like, we don't have to be apologetic. We don't have to say, oh, I'm not against all white people. I'm not against that. We don't have to put any qualifiers on saying, yo, we're not going to be hurt anymore. You're not going to attack me no more. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. We don't have to put any qualifiers on it anymore. But, my bad. Go ahead, my brother.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I completely agree 100%. And also, I'd like to add to that, there's no more talking. We know that what these folks, the propaganda that these folks put out. Remember, they've been putting out this propaganda. Colin Flaherty, he even put out the same propaganda, and all they're doing is just tweaking it. Remember, Colin Flaherty has been putting out that we're attacking Asians, and we're attacking everybody. So it's basically like the media has just took up Colin Flaherty, his talking points. And like I said, guys, there's really no talking. There's really no talking with these guys. Take care of your family, but when they come to you, end the threat.
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah, facts, man. Thank you, man.
Also, I'll just say one more thing. I'm sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very into the KKK forums, like Stormfront and things like that. Basically, there is a militia of these guys. Like I said, they are preparing for war. They call themselves accelerationists, but there are a lot of people who may not necessarily be in the Klan, but they have Klan talking points, or they're sympathetic to the Klan. So this is a very real thing. The Klan is real. The Klan is very active.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out, that they are in militias. They are actively. I'm dealing with one group in particular. They broadcast from Monday through Friday.
Well, who?
And all they talk. I'm sorry.
No, what's it called?
The website is libertytreeradio.4mg.com. Not .com, but it's .4mg. I'm sorry. libertytreeradio.4mg.com. I'm sorry, I was looking for 57 again. I just looked it up again. That is Liberty. I could put it in the chat if you want me to, but I'll say it again.
Yeah.
libertytreeradio.4, which is the number 4 mg.com, and they go live Monday through Friday. They are KKK militia. They're actually based right outside of Detroit, which is crazy enough. Right. And they constantly talk about, what's for sale. That's actually, me listening to their broadcast is how I, learned where to buy a whole lot of stuff online in terms of, barrels, uppers, things like that to get prepared. Because they're buying stuff in bulk. I'm just telling you guys, there are groups, white supremacist groups, who are actively preparing for any type of civil war, any type of natural disaster. These people, anytime the lights go out, these people are going to try to hunt and kill black people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but thank you, man. I appreciate that, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
All right.
Black Power. Peace.
Yeah, and I suggest everybody do what the brother said. I do that all the time, but I kind of got a thing for trolling white supremacists. Making fun of them, crushing them in the chest. That's how I got trained, and I'm waiting for one of them to call in. That's what I've been preparing for this whole time. I just got nice at crushing them with the information. That's how you sharpen your your information, and what their mindset is. That's how I see how they're not that creative, and I see how their tactics are. And I understand once you start studying them, because they're studying us, they are watching us, everything we do. And we need to start studying them and listening to their programs, like the brother said, because you're going to learn a lot from them and you're going to see how to deal with them. So, but I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, want to put something in the chat, y'all can go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm about to get up off of here. I might come back to tomorrow night. If not, it'll be Tuesday night, but I'll let y'all know. I'm planning for tomorrow night because it's been a while, so I need to come back on here and talk to the people and have a real, discussion. But make sure y'all stay on the channel because the new video is gonna come up in about like 2 more minutes. So it should be coming on. So make sure y'all subscribe to it because I know YouTube is probably gonna take this video off. I'm pretty sure because this one is kind of intense. These videos be hard to make. They do hurt, but make sure y'all do that and make sure y'all subscribe to the backup channel just in case YouTube uh give me another strike and I can't post nothing for another week or so. And you'll be able to find me on that. It's in the description. It's or just type in the 4Kast Radio 24 and you'll find me. Man, y'all, I appreciate all of y'all, man. Black Nocturnal, the first brother, thank you for calling in, man. Make sure y'all call in the next show. Pasta, my brother Bakari, Slang Nocturnal. What up, bro? My brother William Bell, Two Hood, Roberto, man. Much love to y'all, man. My sister Melanin, always time to work. I appreciate all of y'all. My brother Dante, I'm gonna be in the chat, so make sure y'all holler at me, man. Much love, and as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.